name is Jessi, and today we'll learn a prenatal yoga sequence, specifically for those who are having trouble in their SI joint. And I encourage you to read more about the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint, in the description below and also by following the link. So to prepare for our practice, we need to make sure that we have all the proper props around us. This includes 2 blocks, very important. A strap is also helpful. You can use a long shirt if you don't have a strap. And a bolster, maybe that can be a long pillow or 2. We'll be using these throughout our practice. Another important thing about this practice is that with our SI joint, we want to be sure that the pelvis stays in line. So we're not going to be doing a lot of external rotation, opening of the legs, and we'll try and keep everything balanced and parallel here. So we'll begin by finding a comfortable seat. I like to use the bolster and bring my legs around it, and then just sit back here. If you need a little bit more space, you can always take a block, place it underneath the bolster, and have a little bit more lift in the hips and pelvis. So however you find a comfortable space, we'll begin with our seated meditation to bring ourselves into our center, to release any other thoughts in the mind, anything of the past or of the future. Finding a space to practice here, to dedicate this time to ourselves and this little being that is growing inside of us. So bring your hands onto your belly and send some love into yourself and to the soul inside. Take a few breaths here. More breath together. Sweet exhale. We dedicate our attention to finding balance within ourselves, connection to the life inside. Inhale and bring our arms up into the air. A full stretch here. And as we exhale, lower the right hand down. Taking your block, allow the hand to rest on the block. We'll inhale and reach, other arm up, and exhale, lean over, getting a nice stretch in both side bodies. Last exhale. Inhale, come up. Place your block on the other side. And exhale, lean to the other side. Another breath here. Exhale it out. Inhale, coming all the way back up. And we'll begin to bring ourselves forward. So oftentimes with our SI, even this might be far enough. So only go as far as you're not feeling a pull back here. Or maybe it's on this side. For me, I can feel it on my left side. You can also use a block in front, which is quite nice, to extend forward. Maybe bring your hands too and rest down. Last exhale here. Inhale, reach the heart forward and then walk the hands back up gently. Bring the block behind you now. As we lift the heart, lift the hands, and we exhale, bring our hands behind ourselves. You can bring your fingers into spider fingers if that feels good for you, or you can bring your hands onto the block. I want to bring the shoulder blades together and open the chest. Very gentle back bends. Remember, inhale here. Exhale. Gently on your inhale, guiding yourself back up. We inhale and bring the arms up into the air. As we exhale, bring the right hand behind you, just onto the back of your bolster. And the left hand can come in front, either to the center of the bolster, or maybe it feels good to bring it to the outside knee. Take an inhale here. As we exhale, a very gentle twist, mostly coming from the middle and the top of the back. Very soft. Last exhale. Inhale, coming back forward, reaching the arms up. Exhale, place the hands in the opposite way. So we first inhale and find length up through the spine. And then as we exhale, very gently open it. We want to be sure in our pregnancy that we're not taking deep twists here or our little being inside. Last exhale. Inhale, coming forward and up. And exhale, come back into this forward fold. Again, only as far as feels comfortable for you. Inhale here. Exhale. Sink as deep as you'd like. You can always use that block if that's comfortable for you. Last exhale. Inhale, walk the hands back towards the body. Reach the fingertips up into the sky. Exhale, bring the hands behind you. Again, using the block or not. Inhale, extend. Exhale, and open the heart. Last breath here. Exhale down. Coming back forward. From here, we'll come off of our bolster and our block. And go ahead and set these blocks here on either side. We'll be using them in just a moment. We'll walk ourselves back to tabletop position. So we spread our fingers wide. And we also spread our toes wide. We make sure that our knees are underneath our hips. Our shoulders are over our wrists. We're pressing out through the palms and equally out through the tops of the feet. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale as we round the spine. Bring the navel up towards the sky. Inhale as we again lengthen. Open the heart, open the shoulders here. Very gentle opening and back bend. Exhale as we round. Inhale as we open and lengthen through the spine. Exhale as we round. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and round. Inhale, come back to your neutral spine. And exhale here. Do some hip rotations to open the pelvis. So bring the hips over to the right side, bring them back, and then over to the left side, and very slightly forward. So we're drawing big wide circles with our hips. It's nice to breathe as you come forward and exhale as you rotate the hips back. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, come forward, pause there. Exhale, shift directions. Moving now back and forward towards the right. Inhale, exhale, go left and back. Inhale, exhale. And coming back into your center. Inhaling, exhale here. Walk our hands one palm step forward, tuck our toes under. We're preparing to come into a downward facing dog. We're going to do this with our knees slightly bent so that we don't have stress on the SI joint area. We inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, press firmly down into the hands and send the hips away from the hands. Keep those knees nice and bent. We're not worried about our heels here. We're just worried about lengthening out through the chest, pressing through the hands, and finding length in the spine, all the way down our back. Take one more breath here. Exhale, we'll lower the knees down. And walk the hands back towards the knees. We're going to lift up this right foot and place it in front of us. So we want our ankle underneath our knee. And now we'll use our blocks, they're right here, to place them on either side. You'll probably want to walk that right foot over to the right. You might have done that already to make sure that there's space for the belly. Place the blocks on either side. We'll inhale here, and then as we exhale, we want to bring attention again to the hips. And so we bring this right hip back and this left hip forward. So they stay in line, and we can lower down as much as we like to go. Take another breath. Exhale. This is beginning to strengthen these muscles in the back of our SI joint. And now we'll take a nice luscious stretch. So we'll stretch that right leg forward, and we're going to flex the toes. So we have energy out the heel, and the toes pointed straight up and back towards our face. You can use these blocks and move them back a little bit more. Maybe you want to bring them up to their higher setting. Bring your hands back down. Again, bring special awareness to where the hips are. In this pose especially, our left hip likes to come, our right hip likes to come forward. And so we really want to bring that right hip back. So take an inhale here. Keep energy out through that right leg. Exhale. Focus on shifting the right hip back slightly. Take one more breath. Exhale it out. Bend the knee again. You can walk those blocks forward, placing them down, and allow or help this foot to come back. Bringing the knees back together again. We'll take some cat-cows here. Inhale, extend up through the heart. Exhale and round. Again, inhaling and opening. Exhale and rounding. Inhaling, coming back to our neutral spine. Exhale here. We'll bring our hands forward. Tuck our toes under. Take another inhale. Open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bent knees. Two breaths. Last exhale brings the knees back down again. Walk our hands back as we help this left leg to come slightly forward. Maybe it walks over to the left side. Again, utilize these blocks, whatever height you want to do. Maybe it's different on this side, and that's fine. Inhale and lift. Notice where the pelvis is. Keep it in line, so draw the left hip back. Exhale. Be where you are. Last exhale here. Inhale and lift the heart. And we'll begin to stretch this left leg forward, flex the toes. Again, choosing the height of your block. It might be dependent on which side is hurting you more. So choosing the higher block setting on that side. Notice where the hips are. Make sure this left hip isn't forward. Draw it back. Flex the toes. Lots of energy. Lots of energy. Inhale and lift up the heart. Exhale here. We want to be sure that we're not going so far that we feel the pull in our lower back here. We just really want to feel this in our hamstring. So move back a little bit, or even slightly bend the knee if you're starting to feel it in your lower back area. Last exhale. Inhale. Begin to bend the knee again. Again, you can utilize your blocks and your hands to help you move yourself back. Last downward facing dog. We walk our fingers forward. Take an inhale, reach the heart. Tuck the toes under and exhale, bend the knees. Send the hips back. Press down into the palms. Feel the shoulder blades open. Space between the shoulder blades. Feel the back lengthen, as well as the head and the neck. One more breath. And on your last exhale, lower the knees down. Walk the knees forward to come into a kneeling. And again, you can place the block or the bolster underneath to give yourself a little prop up. I like to also place a pillow between my hips and my seat to help give some support. Take a few moments to breathe, to notice any subtle changes in the body, in the breath. Back to our intention, giving gratitude, giving love to ourselves, to this little babe inside of us. Check in with yourself. Here we'll come to a standing. To do this, there's a few different options. You can use your blocks to bring one foot forward and then the other to come to a standing. You can also use your blocks, come back into a squat, and then press yourself up from here. So choosing whichever way you'd like to stand. Take your block, and you're going to place the block in between the upper thighs. So we bring our feet parallel, lift up the toes and spread the toes wide, place each one down on the mat. In this block here, we're going to work on squeezing the block with our internal thighs. This is giving a slight internal rotation for our pelvis. This is going to feel really good on your lower back. So as we squeeze this, we begin to engage the quadricep, which is lifting our kneecaps, pressing our feet into the ground, feeling this gentle rotation here in the pelvis. Lift up through the heart. Bring the shoulders down away from the ears. The palms can come forward. This is our Savasana pose. And again, as you feel this internal rotation of the pelvis, you should begin to feel a little bit of release in the lower back. I'm not clenching the buttocks muscles together here. I'm rather finding a rotation internally in my thighs that's allowing length in the lumbar spine. Take a deep inhale, reach the crown of the head up to the sky. Exhale. Take another breath here. Exhale. Gently bend the knees here. And we'll sit back into a modified chair pose. So I'm bending my knees, I'm bringing the weight back into my heels. I can even move my toes here. I'm really squeezing that block. Again, you're going to find length in the lumbar spine. Notice where the tailbone is and point it down towards the earth. So rather than having arch in the lower back, we'll really try and bring that up. You can keep your arms here along your side, or you can bring them up over your head. It's up to you. Take another inhale. Exhale, come to standing. Inhale, bend the knees, chair pose. Exhale here. Inhale, come to standing. 2 more times, exhale. Take a breath here. Last time. Inhale, come to standing. 1 more time. Bring your hands up if you'd like. Take an inhale. Exhale, sit back. Inhale again. Exhale. Inhale, standing up. And exhale, Savasana. For our next pose, we'll take our block, and I invite you to find a wall, and we'll be moving into a deeper chair pose. In the space I'm in right now, I have a tree, so I'll demonstrate on this tree, but you can imagine that's a wall. But you can imagine that it's a wall. So we'll again take this block, place it in between our thighs, and you're going to come a few feet away from this wall or tree, and you kind of have to find what space is right for your body height and length. So what I'm going to do here is bend my knees deeply, and I want to find a place where my thighs are almost parallel to the ground. So you can start a little higher if you'd like. You're going to extend your back onto this wall and press down through the feet and press back through the wall. This should feel really good on your back and find a lot of length here in the lumbar area. This is also engaging the muscles that are around the SI joint area. So we're building strength. Your hands can be back along the wall, press into the wall, lift up, breathe here. Take 5 breaths together. More. Last breath. Exhale, good job. Press away from the wall, keep the block where it is, and just rotate yourself around. We'll extend our hands out, slight bend in the knees, and take a modified forward fold. Pressing our hands into the wall, getting length in the spine, and again, we can have our back almost parallel to the ground here. So as you press through that wall and getting again a nice lengthening. Way back. 2 more breaths. Last breath. Exhale. Guide yourself back up. We'll do that whole switch again. This is really getting into our strengthening portion of our practice. Find your space on the wall. Lift up. Maybe you want to go a little lower this time. Where your ankles are underneath your knees. Lengthen, squeeze the block. 5 breaths. More. Last long deep breath. Exhale out. Away from the wall, again keeping that block. Turn yourself around. Find your modified forward fold. Again, keeping your knees bent if that's comfortable. Press through the hands, extend through the back. More breath. Last one. Exhale. Coming back up. We'll do this one more time. Find your comfortable space. Find ease in the pose. Feel your strength. Press down through the feet. Keep your breath. more. One more. Exhale, good job. Lifting up and release. More breath. Exhale out. Inhale, coming back up. And you can remove the block. We'll find our way back onto our mat. From here, we'll guide ourselves down in the same way that you might have come up. So that can either be one knee down and then the other, or you can come down in your squat. And bring yourself down onto your knees. Finding our way back onto our mat again. Take your blocks to the side. And we've just been doing a lot of work on our quadriceps here. So you might feel some tension there. So we'll work on releasing that. You can again bring the block in between your seat or maybe the bolster as well. We're going to open the knees a little wider so they're farther wide, parallel, and also the feet a little wider too. But we want our feet to be in line with our knees so they're not splayed out to the side. And bring your block and bring it behind you, and we'll get ready for the same kind of back bend here. And we bring our hands down and lift up our heart. This time, I'm going to press into my shins and lift up my hips as well. As I open, I get a nice good stretch to the front of my body, pressing down through the hands. And this is another great strengthener of the muscles around our SI joint. So again, I'm not clenching my buttocks muscles together, I'm rather engaging the hamstrings, stretching the quadriceps, and getting a gentle opening through the front of the body and strengthening through the back. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Very nice. We'll do that one more time. Again, if you want, you can always use the different heights of the block depending on where your body's feeling comfortable today. You can also release the block if you're not wanting to use it. Take another breath here. Exhale, open the heart, open the shoulders. Inhale, engage up and lift the pelvis. Strengthening, opening. So much goodness happening here. Give some space to the little being inside. Open your heart a little wider. Take another inhale. Exhale. Lower the hips down. Beautiful. We'll take the block back to the side. Get this one out from in front of us as well. And just guide your feet to the front. From here, you can sit on your bolster to prop up your hips a little more. You can also, if you're feeling this a lot already in your lower back, you can bring your bolster underneath to have your knees bent. However is good for you. I'll sit on it for this demonstration. And this time we'll use our strap. So again, I like to keep the knees slightly bent. And anytime we're working on these forward folds, especially with our SI joint issues, we want to keep a nice bend in the knees. So we lift the toes up to the sky. Bring the strap around the ball of the foot. Keep those toes lifted. Slight bend in the knees. Take an inhale here. Lift up. Exhale. Maybe you want to stay here. You want to inhale and lengthen a little higher. Lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale. Maybe walk your hands forward on the strap. Only go as far as you're not feeling any tension in the back. If you're feeling good here and you want to work towards straightening your knees, you're welcome to do that as well. nice stretch through the hamstrings, through the back of the body now that we've just worked on strengthening so much. Always finding the balance in every pose. One more breath. Exhale and release. From here you can remove the bolster from wherever it was. And we'll come down to lying down. So if you're in your second or your third trimester, you'll lie down on your side. If you're in your first trimester, you can go ahead and lie back onto your back. And I'll meet you on the ground. Once you come down onto your side, take the block again. We'll roll onto our backs just for a moment. Place the block again between the thighs. Make sure the feet are parallel here. And we'll bring the feet back to where they're underneath the knees. For some people that means to where you can touch the tips of your heels. For others, that doesn't mean that. So finding a place where the feet are far enough back to where they're underneath the knees. We'll get ready for a bridge pose, but using this block. This is another great strengthener for our SI, our last strengthener of this sequence. Spreading the toes wide, spreading the hands wide. Take an inhale here. Exhale, begin to lift the hips. Squeeze that block together. Inhale as we lift up and extend. Press the hands into the ground. Exhale here. Again, I'm not clenching my buttocks together, rather I'm finding lift through pressing the feet into the ground and the hands into the ground. Notice the difference that makes. Hold the block between your legs. 3 more breaths. Last breath. Exhale, lower down. Take a few breaths here. Notice the length in the lumbar spine, the lower back. Do this again. Notice if it's more comfortable for you to lift on the inhale or the exhale. You just decide for yourself. We'll try coming up on the inhale this time, just to see. So exhale all the air out. Inhale, press down into the feet, press down into the hands. Exhale here. Inhale, lift up a little higher by opening the heart. Exhale. 3 more breaths. Last inhale. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful job. We'll do that one more time. So take some breaths. Feel your full back on the ground here. So pressing even the middle of the back down into the earth. Get some lengthening, some release. Preparing for our final bridge pose here. Finding length in the lower spine as we press down into the feet, into the hands, lifting up on the breath of your choice. Staying here for 5 long breaths. One more inhale. Exhale, lower down. Beautiful work. Take the block out. And because we've been doing strengthening again in our lower back and our sacrum, take a nice stretch to release. So take the bolster and place it underneath your seat, underneath your sacrum. This gives a lift, creating space in the back. Take your strap and we'll bend our knees. Place the strap again onto the balls of the feet and extend the feet up towards the air. Again, if you'd like to keep your knees bent, you can, or if you want to straighten them, you can as well. So we keep energy active through the feet Pull down through the strap. Feel the shoulder blades down on the mat. Make sure there's space in the chest. And feel this release through the lower back. This gives us a gentle inversion as well. So allowing the blood to flow from the feet, the legs, even the internal organs, slightly up towards the heart and the head. Take another 2 or 3 breaths here. Really enjoy this pose. One more breath. Exhale and release. Here, we'll prepare for our Savasana, our final pose. So if you'd like, you can take your Savasana on your back. Maybe you want to prop a small pillow underneath your right hip. That helps to still give some space in the vena cava, this main vein and artery that are moving from our heart down through into our belly, into our baby. Or you can take your Shavasana on your side. Maybe bring the bolster in between the legs, and your other pillow underneath your head. And rest. Wherever you are, we'll take our Shavasana together. gently begin to breathe into your body. Notice your space on the mat. Notice the presence of your baby inside. Opening up, wakening up. Take another deep inhale. Begin to stretch. You can reach the arms forward. As you exhale, bring the hand down. Starting to bring ourselves very slowly up into seated. Keep your eyes closed. If you'd like to place the bolster under your seat, you may. Sitting back and up. Again, place your hands onto your belly. Send some love, send some gratitude to yourself for taking this time for this practice. And to your baby for joining along with you. And all your good intentions. Inhale and reach the arms up into the air. Bring the palms together. Exhale. Bring the hands down to heart center. Thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope you give yourself the space and time to enjoy this practice every day. And I wish you blessings in your journey into motherhood. Namaste.